Welcome to my speakeasy. Be careful what you say in my establishment. You never know who might be listening.
Frank Sheridan, citizen of Grand City, carries with him the conviction to right wrongs and help the weak. To the criminals of the city, Frank Sheridan is better known as the Ferryman, a ghostly avenger guided by the spirits of the underworld, wielding preternatural powers. His speakeasy aids his nocturnal crime-fighting activities and allows him access to Grand City's criminal underground. Tonight's episode...
The Scot and the Scab, Part 2. The next morning, we find Detective Reeves, still incognito as George Capistrano's new notary, sitting next to the notorious gangster's hospital bed. Bandaged up from his nose to his lower neck, Capistrano slowly awakes, frantic with little recollection of where he is and what has happened to him.
What's going on? My face. What's with all this dressing on my face?
Whoa, calm down, Mr. Capistrano.
My voice. It's hideous.
Way to hassle you out. The doctors have been removing glass and shrapnel from your mouth and neck all night.
Bourgeois. Where's O'Malley? What happened to Brewster?
Brewster? Well, O'Malley he accidentally shot him dead.
Oh, Christ. This is a nightmare.
Hi, my name's Detective Chester Marigold, Grand City Police Department. Reeves?
Rookie?
You know this kid, Reeves?
This pipsqueak? Of course not. He's just been checking in on you. Wants to ask some questions. Want me to get rid of him?
Yeah. Tell him to go screw. Wait, where's my wallet?
Here.
Give him some cash. Tell him there's more where that came from. If he's good at spinning yarns for Commissioner Gutter.
This precinct doesn't have the resources to waste on that spook right now.
The resources. Sure thing, Cap. Come on, you rookie. Let's step outside in the hall and chat.
Reeves, I didn't recognize you for a second with that getup. What's going on? Are you still undercover? Why hasn't he spilled the beans yet about his taxes?
Not dry up, rookie. I'm in deep right now. Deep, I tell ya. Don't blow it. Here, take this.
Clams? What is this, a bribe? Reeves, a federal prohibition agent has been murdered, and you're still futzing with the murderer? What's going on?
I've had an epiphany, rookie. I've just been blessed with a golden opportunity. I'm gonna take down the Ferryman, once and for all.
You feeling all right, Big Cheese? You seem kind of loopy.
I'm gonna use Capistrano's resources to find that spook. And then I'm gonna give up Capistrano to the feds after he leads me to the Ferryman. It's a double play, you see?
How are you going to convince Cap to go along with you?
I'm gonna lie to him. Tell him the other night was all the Ferryman's doing, not Kincaid. You see, Capistrano has the city bought and paid for. If anyone can find the Ferry, it's Capistrano.
Boy, I think I need a drink.
Why is that? You don't drink.
Because I don't recognize the person I'm staring at. Keep your precious resources. I'm an honest cop, and I thought you were too. Good luck, Big Cheese.
Powered with the dubious resources of George Capistrano, Detective Reeves puts every criminal lowlife and degenerate after our ghostly avenger. Meanwhile, up in the harsh Canadian winter, Capistrano's other right-hand man, Mr. Seamus Grafagna, has finally tracked down rival mob boss Harvey Kincaid in an old wooden cabin outside Montreal.
I'm going to have to kill you before I leave, Kincaid. You do know that, right?
Sure. How about one last cigarette, eh?
A cigarette? Yeah, sure, here.
The word from down south is Capistrano never got my note. So the whole thing was because of somebody else now. Some spook going by the name of Ferryman.
What note?
The note I sent with the Credo Hooch the night of your boss's birthday party.
That was you? Boy, I'm glad you told me that.
Nah, that's not all either. What if, what if I told you I knew who the ferryman was?
Doesn't matter much to me.
Let's put it this way. Your boss is everybody in the stinking city looking for the ferryman, right? What if you went back to Grand and lied to Capistrano in exchange for $1 million in cash and the identity of the ferryman? It'd be a win-win kind of thing. For the both of us, eh?
I'm listening.
A couple years ago, I was moving in on a speakeasy near the river. Big cash cow, no visible protection. Now stop me if this sounds familiar.
Get to the point, Kincaid.
Well, the fella who owned the speakeasy claimed somebody watched over his establishment. When my men explained that bad things could start happening without paying for it for the proper protection, this fella mouthed off. As it were, my men came back that night and broke in. Just before torching the place, this ferryman appeared, alright? They told me, out of thin air, like a goddamn ghost. After beating them to a pulp, my men barely escaped with their lives. Now, long story short, the risk wasn't worth the reward. I moved on to other drums. Now your boss? He's playing with fire, gambling with your livelihoods if this ferryman creep is involved. However, I think I know his true identity. Now let me go, and I'll give you a name.
Interesting. You got a telephone, Kincaid?
Hey, now you're coming to your senses. Here you go.
Hello, operator. Patch me through to George Capistrano. Thanks.
What'd you say that fella's name was, Kincaid?
Frank Sharon. Whoa, I thought we had a deal.
We did. Now we don't.
Hey, y'all. A thrilling adventure like this Ferryman episode needs an equally thrilling snack to go along for the ride. Consider Pop Nola Gourmet's Bourbon Street Bacon Gourmet Popcorn. It's a sweet New Orleans gourmet popcorn made with crispy bacon, maple caramel, and of course a shot of bourbon, baby. Visit popnolagourmet.com and order a bag online today. Use promo code Ferryman10 for a secret 10% off discount on your first bag. popnolagourmet.com. Come see what's poppin'. Now, back to the program.
A few nights later, the ferryman drags a disturbed Timothy O'Malley to Danvers Hospital for the Criminally Insane.
What's wrong with him, Ferryman?
Isn't your brother going down for tax today?
I've shown him how I can make his life a living hell. From this day forward, he'll have to confront his demons in a terrible mental purgatory, as anguishing as the crime he's made his victims endure over the years. So, if you'd be so kind as to show Mr. Timothy O'Malley where he can begin his exhaustive endeavor.
Sure thing, Ferryman. We'll stick him with some tranquilizer. Get him, Jeffrey!
What are you doing?
Easy there, big guy. You know George Capistrano put a real number on your head. We all got rent to pay, you understand?
You have no idea what you've done.
Did you stick him hard enough with that needle?
Dry up and call Mr. Capistrano. Tell him the ferryman ain't going nowhere.
Christ. Listen to that O'Malley fella. What do you think he did to him? That same evening, after being injected with a mild sedative, the ferryman slowly comes to, realizing he's been tied to a chair deep in the bowels of Danvers Hospital for the Criminally Insane. Standing nearby, Capistrano, Detective Reeves, Grafagna, and the two orderlies are all just about ready to uncover the secret identity of the ferryman.
Oh, there he is. What do you think, Mr. Reeves? Is this the spook who made the attempt on my life? Is this the ferryman?
Yes, as I live and breathe, that's him. I knew you had the resources to pull this off. How'd you find him?
Everybody's looking for something, you. That's the first thing I said when I made your acquaintance.
So you did.
Take off the mask, Reeves. Go on. Go ahead. I know we wanted this for a very, very long time. Detective.
What's that supposed to mean?
How does it feel to be so close, and yet so far away from what you've been after all at once, Reeves? Mr. Grafagno, dispose of these two. Orderlies. Did you see who murdered the ferryman and Detective Reeves?
No, Mr. Capistrano. No, Mr. Capistrano.
We're dead men.
Maybe not, Reeves. Hey, Scarmouth. What's the matter? Can't kill me with your own hands.
What? What'd you call me?
You heard me. Gonna have me shot to death in a chair? What are you, some kind of broad? Fight me like a man.
Yo, yellow belly freak show.
You're going to be in a panic over the mug you're calling a face nowadays, Capistrano. Looks like Kincaid got you good before he died.
Mr. Grafagno, don't shoot. I want to wipe the floor with this fella. Untie him, orderlies.
Come on, Scarmouth. Take your best shot.
Don't just stare at me. Grafagno, untie the creep now.
That's it, Scarmouth.
I don't know what you're planning. But one day I will stop you.
And on that day, I might just let you haul me off. Until then, I think it's best if you weren't here for what I'm about to do to these men.
Neither Capistrano, the orderlies, or Mr. Grafagna could explain what the ferryman did next to them. But nobody was the same afterwards. 2 weeks later, we find George Capistrano in a courtroom, awaiting a jury to finish deliberating his trial.
Order! Order in the court. Has the jury reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor. We find the defendant not guilty on the 8 counts of first-degree murder. However, on the tax evasion charges, we find the defendant guilty.
Order! Order in the court. A sentence hearing will take place next week, Mr. Capistrano. You will be held without bail until then. Court adjourned.
Detective Reeves. Just wanted to congratulate you on a job well done.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Capistrano just sat there through the entire trial, almost catatonic. Kept muttering to himself, too.
So strange. I wonder what happened to him a couple weeks back when we made that arrest. Oh, and his face. Never seen anything so hideous.
Maybe he found what he was looking for. Anyhow, I think all the credit belongs to Jack Brewster. May he rest.
Hello, Detective.
Brewster? You're alive? But how?
Something the boys back in Washington are calling Kevlar. It's like a bulletproof vest. Had it on when O'Malley fired at me.
I see. So, you sent me into a gangster hotbed with no weapon or protection, but you had on a bulletproof vest and carried a gun.
Listen, Reeves, let's not pick up. You're a good cop. Couldn't have done this without you. I think I speak for everyone when I say there's a spot with the Incorruptibles for you back in D.C. if you're interested.
Thanks, but this city still needs me, and I won't stop until I find the ferryman.
Fair enough, Detective.
1 week after entering Romanoff Island State Prison, George Scarmouth Capistrano is secretly visited by the 2 associates of Jack Brewster, Joe Kelly and Charles Green.
Gentlemen, thanks for coming to see me.
Let's cut the crap, Capistrano. How much are you offering us?
I'd say what you make over an entire year working for the Bureau in one paycheck. How does that sound?
We're still listening, aren't we?
I don't just want Jack Brewster to suffer. I want to end his life painfully and slowly. Imagine somebody striking you with the hammer until every bone in your body was broken. Get the picture?
I think that could be arranged.
I also want him disgraced in the most humiliating way you 2 knuckleheads can devise. I want Agent Brewster to rue the day he was ever born!
What about this ferryman character, huh?
We'll get to him soon enough. As well as Reeves. And Gutter. But make no mistake about it. This is war, gentlemen.
You can count on us. Now, when do we get the money, boss?
Abandon hope, all ye who enter a life of crime, for the ferryman awaits upon the other side.